All right. All right. Hey guys, it's your girl Nat Martin, and I am here on another Monday with Momentum Mondays. So, Momentum Mondays is every Monday we're going to go live streaming on the YouTube channel and all platforms, to be honest. And what Momentum Mondays is that every Monday we are going to have a different topic of conversation and we're going to discuss different things. Last week we were starting about the great lock-in. Today we are actually going to talk about why resilience isn't faking. And I pause just so you can digest. So go ahead and share this with 5 people so that they can jump into the conversation and we can go ahead and dive in deep conversation. It's your girl, Nat Martin, the resiliency queen. And what I'm here today is to talk about why resilience isn't faking it. I have the Resilient Talks podcast, which highlights people's resiliency stories. Those resiliency stories is real people, real conversations, and real resilience. And when I say real resilience, I mean real people going through real life scenarios. When I talk about bringing people from their setbacks to the greatest comeback, it is not a fairy tale. When I talk about bringing people from their breakdown to their breakthrough, it is not a fairy tale. When I talk about people overcoming their darkest moments, it is not a fairy tale. And when you're that person going through so that you can grow through it, it's not going to always be um, fairy tales and butterflies and all the stuff that I guess people think. I only trust people that have been through something. I only hang around people that have been through something. And I say that because they know what it's like to be at their lowest and to gain the momentum to get through. They know what it's like to go through something and have to face the adversity or face the setback head on because they overcame it. So the people I hang around with, the people I love to connect with, the people I love to pour into any given day and every day that ends in a Y is the people that are overcomers. I had someone ask me, now, who do you work with? High achievers. And they're like, what is that? A man, female? High achievers. I've learned that I have been giving parts of me away to people that are not equal to me. And when I say not equal, I do not mean about a title. I don't mean about your money. I could care less. When I say equal, I mean in the parts of doing the work. Resilience is not fake because you can't fake doing the work. You can't fake doing the work. So when you are doing the work, that means shadow work. Any person that has ever been actually doing the work to heal thyself, to become thyself, to evolve thyself, they understand and know that they had to go through their shadow period. They had to know that they had to go through some dark times where it just felt like you weren't going to ever get through it. But because I am an achiever and I have overcome some things, it doesn't mean that just because you overcome one thing doesn't mean that you're just free and clear from everything. That's not how that works. I've never been a fake person, so I don't know how to fake it till you make it. I don't do that. I don't agree with that statement. I know a lot of people say fake it, fake it, fake it. No. When people fake who they are, they forget who they are. When people fake what they do, you become nobody. And I activate people to become somebodies. I need you guys to realize who you are, why you show up, why you do the things you do, and who is the somebody, right? And in doing that, you cannot fake it. It's nothing. I mean, the hair might be fake, but listen, my heart, my intention, and my story is the realest thing that you can see. I don't come on here to sit here and say, oh yeah, girl, guy, I got through it and I'm just happy and just joyous all the time. What? Where do they do that at? That is not real. And if I come across any person that's just sunshines and rainbows all the time, I don't want them near me anyway. You know why? because it's not real. We are actually in a human body. So I don't want to have to pull out my anatomy books to explain how anatomy works and how you are, what you comprise of, and break down exactly how you have to process. A lot of times I do get into my anatomy works of explaining your CNS, which is your central nervous system. And that central nervous system, if it is dysregulated, oh, it can take you through all types of things, meaning you can be highly irritable. You can be always frantic, always paranoid. Your nervous system has to be regulated for you to operate in a cohesive, optimum, healthy place. When you have a dysregulated nervous system, your body is going to always be in fight and flight. Why? Because if it is not regulated, it's sending signals. You are a human being, and that means you have to be and you become something else, because as we endure and as we experience life, it's not a fake world out here. You want to know how you can have patience? Things are going to test you. So you have to experience it. That's why when people work with me, I activate them and do activations, because you don't know how you are doing until you are tested. And you don't want to fail the test, but it will identify areas where you have to continually improve. It will highlight areas where you didn't even know was a problem until you experience. So as you live life, we are living beings, meaning I'm not here to just exist. I'm not here to just be here and just do nothing. That's the last thing I ever want to do. And when I ever feel like I'm stagnant in a space or a place and I'm not doing anything that's not purposeful or have me on a mission, I have to remove myself for my respect of self and my God given purpose. So I am very intuitive because I actually know my gifts. So I want you guys to write this down. I want you guys to start thinking, what is your gifts? Like, truly, what is your gifts? I call it my superpowers. If people knew all of my gifts, they probably wouldn't even want to come around me. I'm not good sometimes with a poker face because I can hear your thoughts. I can see things. I can get messages for me and for you. I am a seer. So a lot of times I am very inclusive to myself because I feel the frequencies and energies of a lot of people. I know when people are hurting, even if they don't vocalize it and say it. So because I can feel my own strong energies, I can also feel the energies of others. So I have to ensure I stay grounded. I have to make sure I'm grounded. That is something that when I'm not grounded, it shows up. It shows up big time. So it's like understanding different techniques and tools that will keep me grounded. And why is that important? Because when I'm grounded, I can actually think clearer. When I'm grounded, my body's not just like constantly getting signals. Because I have an autoimmune, and a lot of people don't even know that, but they just know I'm superwoman and I show up for everybody, and I'm just always vibrant and smiling, and they expect that. But then it's like when I'm down or I need help or the pain is just, paining too much, and I might, be frustrated, or God forbid, I'm a little irritated. It's like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with her? I'm a human being. And I'm a real life superhero. So what's wrong with me is that I'm around people that I can't stand. And what I mean by that is that you have to understand it's nothing fake about resilience. If you only act like you care for people when they highlight something is wrong, I don't like being around nobody like that, because I don't feel people should have to say something's wrong. I feel that every day in my day, I ask at least 5 people, how are you? 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 And I wait for their response. So, when's the last time you asked someone how they were doing? Genuinely. Not because they did a red flag signal. Genuinely just like, "Hey man, how are you doing? You good?" And then just wait for their response. I had two friends that I'm connected to. I reached out to them last week. One I knew had death in the family, so I wanted to check on them. The other one, my spirit just told me to reach out to him. Come to find out, he had death in the family of somebody that was very close to him. And he's surrounded by a lot of entrepreneurs out here, and no one even knew what he was going through. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy because no one has asked you, how are you? But then I said, it's not crazy because I live that life every day. No one ever asked me, how am I doing? No one ever asked me how they can support. No one ever asked me if I need help. They just expect me to do. And I don't really care for them to ask because I know it's not genuine. But if you actually show up in genuine space to create capacity and space for people, I believe that other people will be able to operate in different frequencies for themselves. And in tune, that means that a lot of things can get done. A lot of people can be more productive, more happy, and healed. And healed. The goal is always to heal. So I want you guys to understand that when you're going through the breakdown and you're on your way to your breakthrough, it doesn't mean that you have to put on a mask. One of the things, 20 years in the military, you know what I used to do? Put on a mask. And I used to watch the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey, right? And he used to put on a mask and he used to do the little teeth and say, let me tell you something, right? Well, let me tell you something. Putting on that mask, it one dims who you are. It two makes everything around you so fake and irrelevant because you put on a mask, it's like no one can see you. And if no one can see you, no one can help you. And if no one can see you, no one can really, really, really be there for you, right? So I take my mask off. I learned that my last couple of years serving in the military, I can't keep this mask on because you know what the mask was doing? It was suffocating me. I couldn't breathe. It was suffocating me. I couldn't take it no more, where I had to break loose. So I happen to be a very transparent person, transparent coach, because I feel that in my transparency, I actually saved some people's lives. It was something that I was going through that I ended up speaking out about. And because I spoke out about it, somebody else was going through it and they was about to take their life. But what did they hear? The voice of Nat Martin on the internet. I never met this person. They called me on Instagram 3 o'clock in the morning. This was like 2020 or 2019. I don't take what I do lightly. I take it very seriously because, it may not be the savvy thing. It may not be the little cute thing that everybody loves. It may not have all these dollar signs attached to it. But I know that there's people that may not have anything and they listen to the videos that I make and they actually appreciate it. And I actually appreciate those people. But the rest of y'all, I can care less because I want you to appreciate those people. When I hear people's stories and I hear people's breakdowns, a lot of times it's because people are not genuinely just being nice to people. And if we all are human, but I feel that if you just treat one another, including myself, with kindness, decency, respect, love, genuineness, because I just don't understand. Like, we're all living in this world, and the world we live in today, the things that's happening now, we can't even explain. Like, we done had a pandemic, we done had all types of stuff happen that we're like, that would never ever happen. So people are carrying a lot of weight, and you never know what someone's carrying. So I would hate to be that extra brick to put on somebody's load when it is not enough. Like that's their breaking point. I don't want to ever be someone's breaking point. If anything, I want to take the load off because I know what it's like to carry the load and have nobody to help you take the loads off. So think about that when you're interacting with your people every day, when you're going out and about, even with strangers. You don't know what they carry. Give a compliment. Give yourself a compliment. Like, really just be nice to people. Those that's going through the breakdowns, that's on their way to their breakthroughs, steadfast, steadfast. The process can be short, the process can be long. The process can seem like, Lord, help me. And in that process, I need you to say those words, Lord, help me. Because whatever it is that you are being crushed in your crushing season is to actually crush you so that you can come out as the diamond that you are. But it's also to make sure that you learn the lessons. If we shortcut the process, then there's going to be some blemishes and you're not going to come out shining bright like the diamond that you are. So we don't take the shortcuts, but we can utilize tools that help us as we go through. Meaning, if you do have somebody you trust, reach out to them. Let them know. If you are a trusted person, I need you to reach out to your people because sometimes the strength that it takes for them to reach out, it takes the exact amount of strength for you to reach out. It's going to exert some initiative and some effort on both parties to just check on one another. It doesn't have to be one-sided. Like, I literally I be going through my phone and I'm like, yo, I check on so many people randomly and it just doesn't come back. But because I know what my mission is, like I don't like that for me or for anybody else, but I won't stop doing it. I won't stop checking on people because you never know what can happen in a second, in a moment, in an hour, in a day. It can be bad or it can be good. And when I emphasize on the good, I emphasize in the fact of the matter that you can just smile at somebody, you can give them a hug, you can just really just change how they think, how they feel. A hug is therapeutic. A hug can heal. A hug can make someone, again, it's like sometimes, well, sometimes I have to hug myself because I have no one to give me hugs. So when you hug yourself, and when I really, really need a hug, let me tell y'all something. You go outside and you find a tree. Trees have healing powers. So you go outside, you find a tree and you hug that tree. There's different tree hugging methods that you could do. But when I hug my trees, I also put my cheek to the bark and I lay my cheek onto the tree. And when I meditate and I just like lean in, I can feel the different energy in my body. But I'm also, again, my connectivity is different. But when you hug a tree, I'm telling you, go hug a tree and come back and comment. Not tonight, it's dark outside, but go find a tree tomorrow. And I want you to go hug a tree and come back in the comments and just tell me what you felt. And I don't mean like give it like a little church hug. I want you to wrap your arms around that tree. I want you to hug it really tight. And I want you to do the same thing for yourself. Like, what in the world? Just I don't know what just happened on my screen, but like fireworks just came. I don't know. Again, me and technology, where fireworks come from, I have no idea. I'm glad I wasn't saying nothing sad. Um, so yes, go hug a tree. This week, I want you guys to go check on somebody. I want you to start with your strong friends. I want you to start with your strong family members. I want you to just go check on them. Hey, how are you? That's it. When I say, how are you? Pause. That's it. Let them respond. Don't say, how are you, and start going into your stuff. It's not about you. It's about them in that moment. I want you to check on them. So when you call them, make it about them. Don't add on which, oh yeah, don't try to tit for tat what you got going on. Just genuinely check on them. Sometimes when you got something going on, checking on somebody else, and then sometimes hearing that somebody else is going through something, it kind of minimizes what you got going on, because we think that our problem is this big, but sometimes our problem is just this little when we hear that other people got major problems. So the gratitude is the attitude because it keeps me grounded, meaning that I am grateful for food, shelter, health, living, right? But it does not diminish that I have things that I go through. It does not diminish that, sometimes it gets hard. It does not diminish the pain that I feel in my body every single day, living with chronic pain that nobody acknowledges. And I stopped talking about it because it's like, they don't care anyway. So I have to, like, you want to see what's underneath my desk? I have so many tools in this house because y'all just see the strong one, right? She's strong. She shows up. But you don't know what I have to do, how I have to manage. And then sometimes I don't manage. I got foot rollers underneath my desk because I also have plantar fasciitis. Sometimes some things be on fire. So I have foot rollers, I have face rollers, I have cryotherapy in this house, I have my Reiki, I have aromatherapy, I have my candles, I have what else I got over here? My crystals, I got Palo Santos, like I have my plants, different plants in different rooms. I am a holistic transformation coach. I focus on resilience and leadership development. The resilience part is to help you overcome any life challenges that is trying to stop you on your way so that you can become the best version of you. And with that best version of you is the leadership development. I help you grow yourself so that you can know yourself to evolve into who you're supposed to be. There's no question about what I do. The only people who question what I do is those that are not for me. And I realize there's a lot of people I've been around that just don't understand it because, one, the mask is on. A lot of people are not transparent in their struggle. A lot of people are not transparent in their breakdown. You can't get a breakthrough without a breakdown. You didn't just, stay on cloud 9 and boom, you got the cloud 10. No, you had to get there, right? Everybody had a starting point. And some people stayed in different segments of getting there at different lengths of time. And it's okay. But I also know that some people probably stayed in those segments at different lengths of time because they did not have a tool. They did not have a resource. They did not have a coach. They didn't have the guidance. They was embarrassed. They was too afraid. They were faking it, right? Like, no. I have an auto responder. And you guys can comment what your auto responder is. My auto responder is I'm okay. Nat, how are you? I'm okay. Let me tell you who taught me that autoresponder. The United States Air Force. They taught me that autoresponder because at a very low time in my life, not low by choice, low by I lost my ability to walk. I lost my father. I had crazy custody issues with my son's father. So I had drama with him. By that point, when I lost my dad, I had already lost my sister, lost my mother. I had lost my cousin. I had lost I think at that point, I think it was up to about 12 or 13 people up until that point, right? That was very close to me. And when I asked to I got to go to New York to attend my father's funeral, right? God forbid you ask for time off because you're grieving a parent. They act like it was too much. And it seemed that every time that I would ask for a time off or days off, I became this burden. And they will do different tactics to give me hell. They would give me hell. And I learned that, you know what? When they asked me, do I need something? I told them what I needed. But clearly, if I tell them what I need, then clearly they trying to make my life a living hell. So I'm just going to say I'm okay. And I learned this tactic of just auto responding. I'm telling y'all, my foot could have been on fire. I'm okay. My arm could have been dangling off my shoulder. I'm okay. After my car accident, I didn't go to the hospital. Why? Because the auto responder kicked in. I'm okay. That's why sometimes I forget that it's okay to ask for help because I have been programmed for so long to say I'm okay because I don't want to burden nobody. Because clearly, asking for the things that when they said, "Do you need anything, Sergeant Martin?" and I tell them what I need, it became a problem. And part of why I used to say I'm okay is because it became a problem, I didn't want to have that problem for my team. When you are a leader comes with great responsibility. You carry the load. I carried the load for my office. I carried the load for my team. And I didn't want them having to catch strays, in which they were, because of the problems that I did not bring. I'm just asking for human decency. But, since that was just problematic for the leadership at the time, I was like, man, my people catching strays and I'm going to take one for the team. So I would just say I'm okay, even though I wouldn't be okay. Now, my team, they knew what was going on. They know me well. They were looking out for me. They were making sure I was okay. And that's why sometimes when this transition of being in this civilian sector, I'm used to being around people. I'm used to being around people that care. I'm used to being around people that teamwork is dream work. I'm used to being one team, one fight, right? And it's not like that out here because clearly y'all ain't checking on your people. So I'm like, okay, I need to help relay the messages that you can have this same concept of being a team player, of being a wingman, of being that person. And even for my veterans, I want y'all to know that just because you're out and you're not in, it doesn't stop here. It does not stop here. I check again, it doesn't stop. I'm going to still check on people. I'm going to still make sure they're good. I'm going to still make sure their family's good. I'm going to still make sure any way and capacity that I can help and serve within my reach, I'm going to do it, right? So I want you to understand that I had to learn how to turn the mask off because it was suffocating me. I had to stop the auto responders. So if you have an auto responder, I don't know what your auto responder would be, but mine was, I'm okay. Because I felt like that's what they want to hear. I'm okay. Then they can go about the day and then they can leave me the hell alone because I didn't want to deal with them anyway, right? And I knew that they didn't care. So it's like, I'm not about to tell them my business for what? And then most people are weak. And I don't like weak people because I'm not weak. So it's like, well, you can't even help me if I wanted you to help me. You can't take the heat of the kitchen. I don't have the capacity to help you while I'm helping me. I got it. And that's why I do a lot of things by myself. Because some people I'll be scared to be in a situation with. I'll be watching people. They don't seem like the common sense factor would kick in when things went crazy. And I'd rather have to save myself and save those that I don't know around me than to have someone close to me that just don't got the common sense factor. I can't do it. So I want you to just know your breakthrough is coming. You got to stay the course, but you got to go through the process. You got to do the shadow work. You have to put in the work. If you like, what is shadow work? Because there might be some people in here like, I don't know what that means. Shadow work means that you got to go to the root cause of what the problem is, the trauma. You got to face it head on. You got to face the adversity. What is causing me this distress? What is causing me to have the behaviors? You have to go deep. And we say shadow work because it's your shadow. It's your shadow. And sometimes when you have to go back and face it, it's going to be dark. It's going to be periods where you're like, why am I even crying? You have to release because if the more you hold in, the more tense your body will be. And then that's when people say, oh, my back hurt, oh, my shoulders hurt, oh, my neck hurt. It's because you're holding emotions within your body. It's a book that you guys should read. It's called The Body Keeps Score. So if you don't believe me, go read the book. I've been teaching this for years. Your body keeps score. If you don't release the trauma in your body and regulate the nervous system, you're going to carry this forever. You're going to be stuck like Chuck. I have so much trauma that I've been through. It takes a while. And even when you start releasing, man, other emotions and other memories and other things can come to surface. So that's why it's always a journey. It's not something that just happens overnight. And it's so insensitive. That's the only reason I'm going live and talking about this is to shed light to something that I know people are struggling with, and I know they need to hear from someone that been through it, that see you, that hear you, that respect you, and that honor your process. I don't sit here and belittle like, oh, you going through that again? Well, no, they trying to figure it out. They pretty much fighting for their life. Like, won't you throw the boxing gloves on? Listen, you call me. I'm 1-2 hitter. Like, come on. Or I might KO knock out. Let's hit it. Let's get it together because I can help you knock something out faster than you doing it by yourself. And so people are watching just to see if you're going to make it through. But the truth of the matter is some people are watching to see if you're going to just fail. And, I love those people because guess what? We don't fail over here, right? My downfall is never a downfall. Every L I catch is a lesson. So the lesson is always in a blessing. So it's never an L for a loss. It's always an L for a lesson. So anybody that rocks with me, I'm telling you now, your breakthrough is coming. I don't care if you cried all weekend. You know how I never cried in the military. They thought I had one person work for me to tell me that they didn't think that I had tear ducts because I didn't even like people crying. I done made grown men cry standing at attention at my desk. And I feel so bad now because I'm such in tune. And it's like, oh my God, that's horrible. But at the time, the job has to get done. What are you crying for? Dry that up and let's get to it. I hear you. I see you. We're going to get this done. And then we'll come back and I'll coddle later. So I never had a coddle approach. And I still really don't have a coddle approach. However, I'm more in tune with understanding that, yes, if the tears need to flow, let them flow. But don't mean that we're going to stop. We're going to let them flow and go. Let them flow and go. Let them flow and go. And so I just want people to understand that it looks scary. It looks crazy. It looks like everything's falling apart. But it's supposed to. The best thing ever is to burn the whole damn house down. Because I like a nice new build, I like to pick out my carpet. I like to pick out my hardwood floors. I like to pick out my cabinets. So if the house is toxic, burn it all down and let's rebuild. So you have to understand, if you is in a toxic place, you got to burn it down. But it may take a while to burn it down. And then you got to rebuild. And you got to rebuild from a solid foundation. You got to rebuild with reprogramming the mainframe, reprogramming the brain, your nervous system, your gut health. You have to understand what is the command center of your operations. So some people don't understand. I used to control fighter jets. So we used to have an MCC, the Mission Control Center. And again, I used to work in the MCC. And it's like, you got to have a command center because all forms of communication is coming through here. And we will operate off of an ATO, which is the air tasking order. In order for me to take my mission, I have to read the air tasking order. I have to know who's flying and what we got to do. But before I can go ahead and sit down and take seat, I also got to get an intel report. So intel got to come in and give me what is the current status of what we're facing. I need you guys to think of your command center. What is the current status of what you're facing? Do you have the air task in order as to what direction and where's the coordinates of where you need to go? And then are you in control inside the command center so that all parts of communication is there? If you don't, let me tell you, for my ladies, I have something for you. I have an exclusive community. An exclusive community. It's called Command Her Network. It's the Command Her Network because I command you to show up as the best version of yourself. The network is exclusive, but it's worldwide. It's no limitation on who you can connect with because I'm going to actually connect you with the command center. Command Her is to heal, empower, and rise. You're going to heal thyself, to empower yourself to go ahead and rise into the next version of who you are for the next chapter. So it's only limited to certain people right now, but the link is in all my platforms, and you can command below, and we can get on a call and see if you are a perfect fit to be in this community so that you have a support system. You have the tools, the resources, you have the command her herself to lead you to understand. Because one thing I found out when I resonated the best with the leaders that led me was people that I respected and people that I can resonate with. One of my first mentors in the United States Air Force, he took me under his wing because he was from New Jersey. He understood me. When I joined the United States Air Force, I was rough around the edges, okay? Let's just say that. Not bad, but just the yes, sir, no, sir. It was just a lot. It was a lot of adjustments. And I was at work getting in trouble a lot, because I was trying to figure out who they was talking to. And I'm like, I don't know why they talking to me like that. And y'all see, I still talk with my hands, right? And so it's like, who you talking to? And, they might have higher ranking than me. It just took some adjustments, but he took me under his wing to let me know, like, this one, I'm going to help her out. Because without him identifying that early on, that I just needed, some guidance, I would have never made it to 20 years. I promise you. I promise you. Because I was grabbing people up. That's why I tell people, please tread lightly with me. It's been a long time. These hands, okay? It's been a long time. So just understand. I know the transformation process that it can take. I see the potential in a lot of people that I come in contact with. I see your greatest self even while you're going through the breakdown. I see it. I have coaches, I have mentors. They see it in me when I was going through a trying time. My times now, it's more purpose. It's more me making sure I'm obedient, me making sure that the process that I'm going through, because there's some things that's trying to stay attached on to me that cannot come on this journey because of who I'm bringing on the ride. See, I'm putting you guys up in the sprinter van with me because I'm taking you on the journey with me. And so I know, because I can see. Remember, I have gifts. So it's kind of like Doctor Strange. I can see things. I don't know if you guys watched the Avengers, but it's like, remember he kept trying to change it with Thanos, trying to figure out what the next ending was going to be because he ain't like the way it was ending. That's me in real life. I'm like, I don't like that. Like, I need to switch it to this. And other people like, you're being too picky. You're trying to be perfect. No, I'm telling you, that can't be the way. It has to be another way. And so it's like learning how to cultivate your gifts but still be operating. That's also a part of your process. So as you start to heal, you start to develop things about you that you just did not know. You start to enhance things about you that are like, wow. You start to find out who you really are. You start to find out what you don't like, who you don't like. And it's okay. We do out, So I want you to understand that as you grow as a person, as a leader, as a God-given child and walking into your assignment, the process is going to be ugly. It's going to be pretty at times. It's going to be sad. It's going to be mad. It's going to be glad. It's going to be a journey. Don't give up. Don't give in. Be who you are. Do not fake it. Be yourself. Always, always remember, take off the mask. Don't create the autoresponders, and get you a coach, get you some support that truly understand the process and journey you're on, and then rock it out. So I just gonna leave you guys with that tonight. And so yeah, I know this is your girl Nat Martin. The one thing I'm always say is that be great, but always be resilient. Y'all have a blessed day.